Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Oh, how have you been? Hope you're taking care of yourself, you're drinking that water. Well, I hope you're taking care of yourself in general, protecting, loving you good. And even if you don't know how to love you, I hope you learn it. And my channel will definitely help you do that. Okay? It's gonna be raw, it's gonna be painful sometimes for some people. It depends on how deep the trauma has eaten. It's gonna be free for some people, uplifting, especially for those who are ready to love on themselves. So you gotta learn it. You're going to learn it anyways, every part of you, but still be ready to evolve, take accountability and responsibility for what happened, and realize that as much as things happen to you, you might have been the victim, but still it was as a result of your permission. Because whether you like it or not, from now on, when you intentionally practice self-love and picking yourself first, you will realize that things, even when people try you, they won't do that again. Like, because automatically it's like a shield. You protect yourself, the universe protects you. They, they come to their senses, they protect themselves from you. It happens like that, but you just have to be ready. Because a lot of people, once they are in this space, because they don't realize what is happening to them, or because they're not really ready to let go of things that do not serve them, they go back, they pick it up, they put it back. So sometimes if you go back to pick up your trash regardless, well, you're not ready, and the universe might withdraw its hand. The supreme collection consciousness will withdraw the hand because you're not ready, or might push your hand and until you see the reason why you should let go of things that do not serve you. I don't know why people think self-love is selfish. I think self-love is the most selfless thing because it takes patience, it takes understanding, it takes awareness, it takes letting go of ego to practice self-love, and a lot of people can't. I mean genuine self-love. No, I don't mean narcissism. No, I mean self-love, the one where you take time. You realize that, okay, I won't waste your time. I won't waste my time. I won't waste your time. Go. Okay? The one that makes you take time to say, yes, I did wrong. Take accountability and like take time focus. That's selfless. It's kind of selfish, but something can be selfless and selfish too. Okay? So today, I want to talk and I want to ask you many questions and a moment of reflection. Okay? Would you propose to a man, so? I've started again. Would you? And I see a trend that is coming down to Nigeria. And one thing about we Nigerians, I feel somehow deep down we hate ourselves. Because yes, a few of us that cross over will make it, we polish ourselves and everything. But then again, you go to a place that is tight for a lot of people and you make it there. But if you could make it there, why couldn't you make it here? Not to tell anyone what to do for themselves, okay? We all have our reasons. It's just a moment of reflection, okay? So the question is, why are we so eager to adopt things from other people? And I don't mean the things that help us, because if we could adopt nonsense, we could adopt things that help us grow, that add to ourselves. Because we go to these countries, we adopt their fake lives, we adopt anything that does not edify the spirit or connect us to ourselves. Because I understand the importance to always learn from everyone. You learn from this, you learn from situation, like you pick every part of the puzzles from different sources and add it up to yourself. Because what you do now is to unlearn, to learn, and you pick things even from people that might not be the most ideal people to take something from. You look at them, but at that moment, the source is connecting through them to pass a message, maybe that fits a particular part of your life. All you have to do is to take the part that works for you and you leave the rest. So I understand the eagerness to want to be accepted because whether I like it or not, Nigerians, we're very homely, we're very welcoming. That's deep down within us. It manifests. I don't feel like we consciously do it, but that's who we are. We are spiritual people, but kind of descended to religious people. I don't know. We are givers, but somehow kind of descended to scammers. Like no integrity and all. We love people, other people. That's why you see us in every part of the country communicating in every part of the world, different part of the world. Sorry. I think you'll find us in all parts of the world. If you don't find Igbo, you find Yoruba. If you don't find Yoruba, you find the Northerners. But then again, there are different ethnic groups there. You can even find the Yoruba people. You can find the like you can find different people who exist there, including the one that specialize in flying. You can find them in any place. I guarantee you that. Okay, so this is who we are. We love people. It is deep down in our root. But somehow amongst ourselves, we can't just open our face enough. We can't be honest with ourselves to realize that most of the times these governments use us to play politics and religion just to take advantage of what we have and present in front of us. But because we are so gullible, deep down we hate ourselves. Something happens somewhere. I still haven't figured it out. Honestly, trust me. And please, if you have figured it out, you can feel free to drop it in my comments. But I don't know. Something about us, we take something trashy that other cultures don't want, we pick it, just like even phones, clothes, and everything. It doesn't stop there. It enters into our psyche. I just feel like we taking second-hand clothes, taking bad phones, where other phone companies that seem to have integrity will deliberately, with our government or something, give us the worst version of things. Then continuously give us generator and we claim that is the storm. Why we give other countries like Cotonou, Ghana once upon a time, Togo lies, like they had consistent light. And if you go to these people's country, before they take light, they announce it. But somewhere, the most educated people, most the learned people in Nigeria, they are learner thinkers. Like they are learner thinkers. We are hypocritical collectively. Even I included sometimes. Now, I might not appear that way, or sometimes coming cut up with me, you might find that that's not true. But I might have at a point, if I'm not doing it to someone, I'm doing it to myself. I might judge myself harshly. Okay, it doesn't have to be one way that things expresses itself. So I see that. And that's how I know a lot of people, especially women who are taught to, who are held in high standard, but not necessarily valued, that we are always hard on ourselves. So we adopt things that people don't like. So why would we want to propose to a man? It's not about African culture now. It's about man and woman biology. Let's leave African culture out of this. Because a lot of times you have juggled it up that I don't even know what is what again. Okay? Because once upon a time in an African culture, women nakedness, we are reverenced, we are worshipped. It wasn't used as a leverage to take advantage or prey on us. So you see some people faking false decency, which is hypocritical, but I don't want to debate. Why is it that we adopt? Why is that we adopt cultures that do not serve us? Misogyny, fake life. Now women want to propose to men. Why? This is built against your biology. I feel like a lot of women so far, especially here in Africa, Nigeria, and this men want to claim like they don't know that women have been busting themselves up, trying to be everything. So a lot of women have been acing it in their job, they have been acing it in their life. Like they have put on the weight. There's nothing wrong with aligning with your masculine energy. In fact, I feel like the men also have to tap into their feminine energy, but it is tapping into it, not embodying it. Because even these guys, they have both the recognize this role enough to embody. One embodies feminine role, one embodies masculine role. They can switch sometimes, but one mostly embodies it, and respectfully so. Now, a lot of these Nigerian men are lacking, are lacking in many ways, in discipline, in accountability, in responsibility. A lot of them don't even take care of the bills anymore. A lot of them don't even bring anything to the home. A lot of them are vampiric as hell and so entitled. And the thing is, for someone who was once a mommy, for someone who was once a pick me, for someone who was all these things, who was once all these things, one thing I recognize is that a lot of these men are not even ready. They cry that new women, modern women don't respect and everything. We are too this and that. And the truth is, they never they never tell you the whole truth. They just cherry pick what serves them best. Because here's the thing: as a woman, if I am taking the time I'm supposed to use to pour into myself to be a better, nurturing person, a better loving person, if I should take away that time and then go to a job, work as you do, but you turn out that most of these men still use their working as an excuse to be cranky because they forget that women who has hormone, whose mood swing is up and down, manage to do that same work, probably working more tedious than you because she's trying to prove herself. Like, why should I prove myself further? So, if I should take the time I was supposed to use to pour into myself and exhaust it in all the things that take away my energy, my time, and the man who is supposed to be providing, if I take it all out, why do you think I'll respect you? I don't have that energy to. I don't have that energy to value you. And women, we are not built to respect a man who do not provide and protect us. We are not, and we shouldn't. And that's on period. So you're competing with a man in his field and you're embodying that masculine role. So it's hard for you to lose touch with it. And again, the good girl, be a good girl, be all these things. So sometimes it depends, different scenario for different people. So you come back together. Now you have to be the good wife. You have to cook. You have to be there. You have to listen to his dry joke. You have to listen to whatever he has to say. Meanwhile, and he might not even be contributing because if you pick me and you entered into that relationship, guess what? You might not, your children, it will be as if your children is your responsibility. See how they flip it sometimes. Now I know that it's different in different from there's some women, there's some Nigerian men who are so I don't know. Somehow is it that their parents did right by them by raising both them. But have you noticed that even in Nigeria, women are raised, men are loved. Like men can go out and do anything. Because when I look at this social media and I see all these posts about men claiming that women are loved unconditionally and men are loved conditionally, I say, really? And the society is like this because if women really demanded, if Nigerian women really demanded for men to step up and rise to the occasion, Nigeria will not be like this. It won't be this bad. Kidnapping will not be going everywhere and men will not tear up and down. We know all these things. Because when things in Nigeria, when things affect the rich, that's when solution comes. That's when we bring about solution. And it's sad. So if we really held men accountable, if love was really conditional in Nigeria, now I understand some women do it. And even the women that do it, some of them do it carelessly because the men want, because these men are given different orientation to be at home. These men were just given, marry a woman, she'll do everything, she'll take care of the house, she'll secure them, forgetting that men are builders too. Men are leaders, not rulers. That's why a lot of men, once they are old, their children distance themselves from them because you are a tyrant, you aren't loving, you aren't emotionally available. They blame it on the woman. Are you stupid? Even you as a human being, as narcissistic as you are, why aren't you smart enough to marry a foolish woman who will love you for who you are, even how stupid you are and useless you are? Why aren't you selfish enough to gravitate towards something nurturing, even though you didn't have the ability to pour into something nurturing or you didn't have what it takes to maintain and sustain it? So I don't know what I'm going on around. And you ask me, okay. So women, Will you propose to your man? I see that there's a trend coming into Nigeria, and I don't know why. We pick things up and down. And somehow it's as if women are not doing enough. We are doing too much, but we're not doing enough. Because we could do very way little and it will be enough. Okay? So please, I'm not putting another responsibility into you, even though I feel like you should take accountability and responsibility because this mess, it was symbiotic. We agreed to it. There was a clap and we danced. So it was like, okay, you guys could work with it and it happened. So I won't blame just the men. Women should be given equal blame too. Okay? So I don't understand if women understand this dynamic, even outside the country. What people don't understand is Americans, they don't practice this thing. No. It's the black Americans that there's a reason why baby mamahood is rampant in the black community. Okay? But even then, they have transferred it to the white community now because they have gone there because their preference are white and colored and someone with biracial complexion or ambiguous race. So they have brought it there because their preference thought that okay, that's how you know this is collectively a black thing. Like black men, they don't know what commitment is. They don't know what relationship is. They were never raised. Only very few were. So because deep down, these black men don't like commitment, they don't like relationship, they like the benefit of it. You know how like Safari moved in and out of Erica Mene, like everything. So you see, like that, like they can go even though their preference gets some benefit because whether I like it or not, they'll be eager to, because of this deep down self hate, they will splurge and go. That's for the ones that have money, okay, just to get them. And once they get them, it's like, okay, I have you now. Next. It's the same thing. Even in Nigeria, it happens. They get you like, if you talk nonsense now, go and get another wife. Like they can replace you that easily. Like loyalty is bought that easy. Huh? They look at Woko, the Regina's husband, and see how he's doing it. They don't understand this man, understand how the game is played. Eh? Like you can switch and change like that. Are you crazy? Are you go die? So now, the consequence of dynamics like this is that first of all, these men are not doing much anyways. Now you want further because you're desperate, because you're used to doing everything, you've forgotten what it is to be a woman. Women receive, men gives. That's the biology. And if you work against it, you bear the consequences of it. Sometimes it's a loss of happiness, insecurities for a lifetime, scarred scarred, unhealed wounds that pass into your trauma. You pass it to your children as a curse. Because let me tell you, if your children see a pick me, they will be a pick me too. And in this world now, in this dog eat dog world, as a woman, if you don't have any sort of respect or self worth for yourself, you'll be trampled on unapologetically. And if you're because of you're stupid enough to allow your husband is stupid enough to think this, because here in this part of the world, we don't think like that. Though our thought stops at a level because a lot of programming, how we have ingested a lot of programming, so we don't think past, and that's because a lot of things tell us don't to not to think beyond. It's like another helper somewhere will come and help us. So that helper, that's divine. Yes, divine being helps us. I know, but it only comes to point of your awareness so that you can work in collaboration. Do you understand? Even when you're not doing enough, at least your awareness is enough collaboration. Do you get? Your intention is enough collaboration. You maturing to seal the net and not go back to pick the trash that was released from you is collaboration enough. I'm feeling this, okay? So in this part, because we don't, those doctrines have stopped us from pushing ourselves from here to here. Okay? Now it's working against us, but we won't see it. We won't see it. We are still waiting for that help. But this is a dog eat world, whether we like it or not. We see it, we live in denial, we see it, it happens every day. But if you want to still be clueless enough, your daughters are going to be the stepping stone of the future, including you. You will step on your child because they learn how to be a pygmy. And God forbid this guy is narcissistic and psychotic and doesn't, because your daughter is a pygmy, your children just end up like that because this is what they learn from you. Now, it is not natural for a man to be chased for a woman. Even see, all these fine boy, baby boy, they are different from real men. They are class to this men. A man who has worked towards his masculinity, who understands the concept of family, life, love, a man who has worked to that level, he wouldn't just sit by and wait for a woman. No, even powerful men, very powerful men, and I mean in terms of maybe good look, good health, resources, position, who leads not just women but men, who has built an empire. They want to chase you because they want you. They want someone they can reason with. They want someone that can help build their legacy because they understand this dynamic. So the only people you're still going to attract who get impressed by you being a pygmy are losers, are dusters, are pookies, are rares, are guys who will never contribute to your life. And we are not taught this thing because a lot of our mothers were pygmy. They never understood these things. So now, consequentially, it is happening. You don't want this to continue down to your children because they will do the same thing. Unless they encounter something that shaped them. But by God, they are not tools given to you to think deep, to think beyond the surface. So the consequence of these things, you're going to bring a non-leader. You're going to bring a man who will go outside floundering up and down, bringing STD to you, bringing a lot of nonsense to you, who will never take care of you, who will never point into you. You're going to attract all these things in the name of, I am so desperate to settle down because the society is going to look at me and in one way shame me and say that I'm not desirable. Shut up. The society don't give a fuck. They only need something to make them feel good about themselves, their miserable life. So that is a distraction from their own miserable life. Now, if you want to join into the society to have a miserable life, that look for people's life who isn't, unquote, put together just to justify your mayhems and make you feel like you're somewhere in life, then good for you. But I said this self-love that we think is selfish. You see how selfless it is? Because if you have time loving on yourself, you don't have time to create mess. So, this is all I want to talk about today. The consequences. Because men like this, when you chase men, see, they're never going to value you. They're not going to protect you. They're never going to provide. And this is what makes them men. This is what makes them better because them trying to. Men are lions. Before I used to have problem with it, and that was when I was a pygmy. Even before I was a pygmy, I was not really a pygmy, but also I felt guilty for wanting better. But it's okay. I feel like I needed to go through all those things to be whole because I am this kind of person that might intend. That is not a smart move. That's not a good move, and I'm working on it. Am I intentionally allow myself go through something just to understand the lesson? Okay, that's who I am. So sometimes I allow myself go through things, and sometimes, woo, child, I should have just learned it from a distance through someone. So a lot of people might have to go through it, not necessarily intentionally, but to learn a lesson, they need to go through it. So be it. I just pray you make it out alive. And then turn on your L's into lesson. And then live the life, create your life yourself because we have that power as women. We are the gatekeepers. Yes, men are supposed to be more responsible where they pour their seed, where they pour their legacies, and how the kind of children, fatherless children they raise. Men should be careful, but we women, at the end of the day, if we know open, you know go open. I know this is a rape apologist country, but God will help us. But if you no one make it open, you no go open. Okay? And be so choosy, you have the right. I know it's a taboo in this part of the world for women to know what they want, to have standard, and to live it. It's like a taboo here. In fact, you go to church, you see your pastor wife who is miserable at home, telling you how bad and sinful you are for picking yourself and your security. Bullshit. I laugh at them in my mind, but see my face nodding seriously. I know some people are not good at faking it or pretending, but as a woman, you need to know how to act so that, especially in Nigeria, you need to have like 20 personalities. I'm sorry, that's how you have to have, because there are places you switch it. In this place, you can't. Some amount of sophistication is. There are levels to this sophistication. If you're speaking calmly and everything, talking to someone who is grown up, we are crazy in the society, especially in Lagos. So if you like, be doing, I'm calm, I'm gentle, you will see what happens. Because sometimes you just have to tell them, I'm in this realm of your craze at this moment. You fake it. Alright? So all I'm saying is this. Pick well for yourself. Be smart in your picking. And I know we have looked at, there's this stupid unrealistic standard set for us on our behalf of our VJJ. At the end of the day, you protect your womb. Even if you should decide to marry tomorrow, try to make sure you realize this is who you marry reflects you as a woman. Even if you're a powerful woman and you marry a weak man, people use that man and judge you. See, I don't know why women like doing this. Is all about love. Let's be honest, you know you don't love him. It's just desperation you want to marry. Or you don't like yourself enough to understand what love is. That's why you're just using it as an excuse. You don't. And what does love has to do about this? There are other things you're risking. Your legacy, where you raise your children, the kind of environment you place them, the kind of lifestyle you live. There are a lot of things you're losing for what? Fake love that is obviously not love but something other than it, but you have been programmed to view it as love. Okay, whatever works for you. Alright. So you have to realize. And look at Neo and V. V is a pretty girl. But what happens? Every time Neo always find a way to remind her that you picked me first. And that's why you could see even in the BBN reunion, you could see there was a way he was acting like, even in her presence, still praising Nengi and all. So all these things you have to understand. Okay? That men are going to always remind you pick them. They don't like you, emasculate a man when you do that. They either don't marry you, sometimes they just say yes for yes. They might not end up marrying you, and if they marry you, that's the worst. Because every day of your life you'll be reminded that, see, this place you're staying, oh, you better stay well, oh, or else you will hear it in their voice, you hear it in their mannerism, you hear it in the way, they talk to you. And sometimes you just keep quiet and let it go. But you have to understand that just because you made a mistake does not mean you have to stay there. That you made it in the moment where you thought it was right. Always feel free to walk away. Always pick you. So if you still decide after watching this video that you still want to go ahead and be a pick me and go after and run after a man because it worked for someone who just, okay, do what you want to do. But you have to ask yourself, do you really want a man or do you want a woman? But if that's okay for you, good for you. Alright? And if you watch it to this time, I'm so grateful. I know this video is long. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and press the notification button so that the bell so that you can always get feed when I upload new video. Take care of yourself, love you, and have a great day till I see you on my next video. Bye.